Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to BCX Connects, the show that tries to keep you one click ahead of disaster. My name is Garith Peck. I'm the managing executive for cybersecurity here at BCX. With me today is my colleague Chris Bester. Welcome, Chris.
Good morning, Garith. Thank you.
Cool. So I think it's that glorious time of the year again, Black Friday. It's the time where the economy surges, logic takes a vacation, and we buy appliances that we don't need, and apparently even a toaster that connects to the Wi-Fi is important to people's lives at the moment, right? So and this is exactly what hackers love, right? I think it's that opportunity that we create for them.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, we're creating the opportunity, and it's about the rush as well, for that sales rush,
The dopamine.
the dopamine effect. We spoke about it earlier. It's the same as gambling. You know, once you pull that lever and you win a couple of coins, you want to pull it again. You know, it creates that sense of excitement and so forth. So you common sense goes out of the window.
100%.
You know?
I mean, like, Black Friday is literally open season for cybercrime. That's when everyone is distracted, emotions are high, and the wallets are open, right? And that's where the cybercriminals take advantage of the psychology of a sale. So if we start there, why does this madness happen every year, right? So what is it about a 70% off sale that makes people abandon reason faster than a Windows update? That is always the question.
Yeah, boggles your mind, isn't it?
I think it's for me, it's about behavioral economics. You know, that flashing countdown timer where there are only 2 left items on the banner. You know, that triggers that FOMO.
FOMO is the right word. Yeah, I mean, it's right. This one thing we wrote about a while ago is this criminal, cyber criminal. He says he works 1 day a year, and that's on Black Friday.
Yeah,
and he makes enough money on Black Friday to keep him for the whole year. So,
yeah, exactly.
and that he really used that behavioral aspect of people of that sales urgency type of thing, and yeah, that's
and I mean, from a psychological perspective, like you mentioned, that dopamine hits like the circuits like gambling. It gives people that chemical rush, the idea of saving when you're not actually saving anything. So it's what you can call Vegas in a shopping cart.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think the whole thing it's driven around emotion, right? So it's emotional, it's impulsive, and it's online. And this is the hacker's dream. Yeah. Because this is the combination that they look for, because they don't need to outsmart complex firewalls or complex systems or antiviruses or anything like that. They now need to just outsmart your attention, to your attention span. That is the psychological hook.
The human weaknesses.
Yeah. And the scale of this problem is big, because I've seen some numbers where, statistically, Black Friday weekend globally is around $150 billion. That is, what they are projecting for this year. In South Africa alone, we're looking at about 20% increase in our e-commerce spend, and that's a massive attack surface, especially if you are not cautious, if you are not conscious, etc. So, and the data backs it up, because Checkpoint Labs, they also said that phishing campaigns during this period is up by 30%. Up by 200%. So that means that leading up to Black Friday, there's a whole barrage of campaigns, of phishing campaigns that's already out there.
Aggressive phishing campaigns, yes.
Yeah, Sabric also reports that the card not present fraud is also up, and this is up by 80%, for banking crime locally. So it's predictable chaos. The criminals plan for this like it's a marketing campaign.
Exactly, and the banks plan for it as well, because they have extra shifts of people, just working in the background trying to counteract fraudulent cases and things like that. Yes.
Yeah, I think maybe let's unpack that for the users, right? So there's trends and there's tactics. So if you unpack what shoppers are facing this year, so the classics are there, the fake courier messages, clone shopping sites, dodgy WhatsApp deals, but there are new flavors out there. I think the fake courier ones, I mean, I know somebody personally that was impacted by the fake courier ones, because now with Temu, with Shine, I don't know if you pronounce it correctly, Take a Lot. So they were making a lot of online purchasing. So there was a lot of courier messages coming through, and there was one specific courier message that was asking for a payment, and they assumed that it was related to the Temu clearing fee that they needed to pay, and they volunteered their credit card information, and boom, money was taken.
Yeah, the problem also now with the influx of AI tools is, the cyber criminals, actually using the AI tool to scrape your personal information. They form your a picture of your shopping habits.
Correct.
They know exactly what you've been buying over the last month.
But
so
the interesting thing on AI that you mentioned, because like now there's also AI deep fake adverts that is also being pushed out. Right?
Also getting up
so influencers promoting fake stores. There's a lot of lookalike domains. People are not paying attention. There might be a letter swapped out of Take a Lot, as an example. There's fake payment portals, but the new one that everyone is like talking about is the QR code scams that's happening now.
Squishing.
Yeah, the
squishing. Sorry.
So stickers the stickers are swapped on delivery slips. That lead you to malware instead of tracking information. So the hackers are definitely innovating faster than what our retailers are. So it's actually quite scary. And the thing is, why do we fall for it? I mean, this part here, I think we've spoken about the human nature in our previous podcast, and we've spoken about the human element. But even the smartest people still fall for this.
They still.
Okay. But and I think this is where we talk about where pressure overrides logic.
Common sense fly out of the window.
Yeah. So there's that term that they use where they say there's scarcity bias. Right now, scarcity bias, you believe something is valuable because it's almost gone.
Whether you need it or not.
That's that countdown thing where there's only 2 items left, and you're not going to get it anymore, etc. There's also the social proof is another issue, because what a lot of people like to do before they purchase an item, they're going to look at comments and reviews, not knowing that in many of these reviews, or some of these reviews, could be all fake, right?
And that's true. Yeah, I mean,
so you assume legitimacy of a specific item based on comments that you're seeing.
Just a while ago, I actually wrote about it, and I said, don't trust the reviews on the actual website where you buy. But it turns out that in some cases, up to 90% of those reviews are just put there by the actual guys. I mean, it's fake. Correct. It's not correct.
Correct.
Rather go into something. If you want to review a site, go into something like Hello Peter or go into Reddit and just find independent review on the site, and
there's also
people are.
And there's also another thing called authority bias. So that's where the logo looks right. But your brain fills in the trust or the gaps, and add a flashing timer, and your brain literally shifts into this whole frontal cortex mode where the logic part, that limbic system, is like that emotional part is out the window. So you stop thinking and you like reacting.
Yeah. So
for me, that's the equivalent. I would say Black Friday is literally a psychological DDoS attack.
That's quite an interesting way to put it. Yeah, you're quite right. It's throwing them in its DDoS.
Yeah, so it's like in the same scenario like a DDoS, they're flooding the brain.
Yeah, you're flooding the brain,
crashing the reasoning.
Exactly. So DDoS of the brain. You can call it if you may. And it's really aggressive marketing. I mean, they just flood, and and in our daily lives, we're on our phones like 60% of the day, if not more. Some people are more, and that's where all these things happen. You pick up your phone, you see this message. Oh, what's that? And it's another marketing thing, or another special, another
suggestion,
and that's where that you mentioned people do buy things just because they're special, and people buy superfluous items they never knew existed.
Correct.
But all of a sudden it's urgent. I need to have it.
So let's talk to our users about how to stay sane and safe. Right. So we give our listeners the survival tips, before they start buying that electric scooters for their poodle, right? So I think number one, Chris, I think type the URL yourself. Don't click on an SMS or social media. I mean, what do you think of that?
Yeah, and be wary of the QR code.
Yeah, correct. Look out, number two, look out for the HTTPS or the padlock item. It's an unsecure site. Don't
even go there.
Don't go near there. Yeah. I think number three, I would say, never shop using public Wi-Fi.
Very true.
Yeah.
You call it public Wi-Fi. It's now called hacking. What's it?
It's now the hotspot is now called a hack spot.
Hack spot. That's what you call it. Yeah.
So that free mall Wi-Fi. No. It's,
don't use it.
Stay away. So number four, the use of virtual cards, one-time pins. I think most South African banks offer them now. I think that's a good practice for consumers to use. So I think number five, check your statements immediately. The quicker you see the problem, the better the bank can assist you to reverse it. Number six, I think, don't post your shopping confirmation on social media.
Very, very true.
You're not manifesting abundance. You're manifesting identity there.
And that's so strange for me. People have this real urgency to tell everyone what they bought, where they went, and all those kind of things on social media. You get, exactly. And I said everybody is on their phones, and if you're a friend that is on Facebook, it will pop up. I just bought this.
There's the AI twist, So we hear a lot about the AI scams. We've spoken about deepfakes. There's also the synthetic voices that are entering the game. So I think. What's happening here? I mean, how is AI changing this Black Friday scam?
It gives the cyber criminal a huge range of tools that he doesn't need any expertise on.
Correct.
In the past, the hackers needed some level of quite a deep level of expertise to pull these things off. Yeah. AI is making it easier for them.
I don't know if you've seen. There was this thing where they're seeing AI generated customer service agents.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
It's like they sound completely human. They're guiding victims through fake payment verification. It's all AI. There's also deep fake celebrity endorsements. Now you'll see a product, and all of a sudden you see your favorite actor, endorsing this product.
Endorsing the product,
convincing people that the local stars are promoting non-existent stores. It's so even like the phishing pages are dynamic now. They watch your cursor movement. They change their tone based on your hesitation. So there's a lot of intelligence behind the background of this. So the personalization is really become more criminal.
Exactly. Yeah. So and like I said earlier, the AI use the AI to scrape your behavior.
Yeah, correct.
From your social media and from your
100%. Yeah. So I mean, that's basically what I like to call marketing 2.0. But for villains.
For villains.
Yes. So it works. It works like because AI can scale social engineering faster than humans could.
And very true.
Yeah. So I think, look, final thoughts, Chris. I think to summarize for me, Black Friday is not just a shopping event. Right? It's a psychological operation. Your dopamine is under attack. Your attention is currency, and your data is the real price. Right?
Yeah.
So I think the best ideal price for Black Friday, Chris, what would that be? Not getting hacked.
Not getting hacked. Don't buy that superfluous item that you don't need.
Yeah, and don't volunteer your data.
Don't volunteer your data. Check your bank account.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
And another thing that pops up lately is that charges are going off twice.
Yes.
Check your bank account. Go and check that it doesn't go off twice.
Correct.
But make sure that there's not all of a sudden 2 or 3 other transactions that you don't know about.
Yeah, hidden behind your transaction.
And especially during Black Friday shopping. If you're active on this time at shopping, check your bank account daily, or even 2 times daily for that matter.
So look, I couldn't agree more. So I think in our next episode, what we're going to do here is we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk about the business side, how companies get hit, how the human error costs millions through Black Friday, and why that phishing isn't just consumer problem, it's the enterprise epidemic. So everybody stay tuned for the next episode, and thank you very much for chiming in. Stay focused, stay conscious, stay aware, and save your money. Don't be spending on Black Friday.